Reasons you don't want to move to Northwest Arkansas. I would say weather. You know, we talked about that being a pro, but it could be a con. We've got all 4 seasons here. We've got cold winters, spring, we're in the rainy season right now, hot summers. You better have a good AC guy on hand in case your AC fails, which we can help you with that. Get you some resources. Fall's my favorite time of the year here. The leaves change, but if you're looking for consistent climate, Northwest Arkansas is probably not going to be the place for you if you're used to a hot weather season and not used to the winters. When we first moved here from Kansas City, the ice, they call it black ice. I was coming back from a job in Little Rock. The ice hit Northwest Arkansas. Had no clue, you can't see it. And that was back in 2004, 2005. It doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, you're better off just staying home. A lot of cars were in the runways, the medians, and I luckily made it back. But a lot of people aren't familiar with driving in that type of weather, so it gets kind of crazy too when that type of stuff happens. But again, they're short winters. The black ice doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it is a burger. Number 2 is going to be your traffic. You know, we talked about that being kind of a positive. If you're coming from a big metropolitan city, it's not going to be bad for you. But if you're used to just a few stoplights in the town that you're coming from, this is going to be a change for you. You know, we came from a little town north of Kansas City. We were used to the Kansas City traffic, so it wasn't too bad for us. But the town I'm from, I think it's got maybe 3 or 4 stoplights. So people that are from there probably are not going to want to drive in this traffic every day. So if you're used to that, you're thinking it's going to be a slower pace. If you're coming from a small town, not the case. You're going to be bumper to bumper. Everybody's, in my opinion, it's gotten worse just because we're growing. There's 30 to 40 people a day moving into Northwest Arkansas. So very progressive area compared to the whole state. A lot of different tourism cultures, people working at Walmart, JB Hunt, Tyson, and then you've got all the people that are coming here for tourism as well. You've got the Crystal Bridges Museum. We talked about that in one of the videos. And then Walmart's bringing in a lot of people from different global cultures as well. Bugs. How many people like bugs? We've got some bugs. We got some wildlife here in NWA. So you're going to have... if you're an outdoors person, I mainly do golf and fishing, but I always check myself for ticks. When you're they love me. They love my blood for some reason. Mosquitoes are nice here as well. They're not as big probably as some areas, but you do have mosquitoes. You know, you've got your wasp, your bees. Where we live in just north of the square in Bentonville, and wildlife is, in town. In the early mornings, towards the evenings, you'll see deer in your yard. I don't know if you've seen the movie The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, but we've had some raccoons in our trash, family of raccoons. We haven't seen them for a while, but you'll be on walks and there'll be a deer everywhere, which I love deer. I like to watch them. They're getting to where they're almost really friendly with the public. They're getting pretty comfortable in this area. So termites are going to be something we get checked out for you once you buy the house. But we do have termites in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas. We'll get that checked out for you by the seller's title company. The sellers will provide a policy for you in the first year, and then you can just renew that policy. It's a lot cheaper for you to renew it than canceling. You don't have to continue it after the year, but I highly recommend keeping that policy, because that way you can have somebody come check it out once a year just to make sure there's no signs of termites, subterranean termites in your house. What else is the reasons not to move to Northwest Arkansas? If you're a big sports fan, we've got awesome college SEC, but we do not have pro sports. So if that's something that's major key for you, you want your pro sports, you can drive, 5 hours to Dallas from here, five and a half. You're 3 hours to Arrowhead. I'm a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. Don't hold that against me, but I've been a fan since the late 70s. My grandpa took me to the stadium and kind of fell in love with them. Originally Pittsburgh, but then Chiefs. Been a diehard for years, so all this success that we're having now was not the way it was being a fan for years. As many of you guys know that have your own teams, it definitely goes in cycles, but we don't have any pro sports here, so if that's something that you're looking for, might not be the area, but like I said, we've got college, big SEC sports that you might fall in love with, and then we also have a minor league baseball team from the Royals, the Naturals. It's a beautiful stadium. Great time to go out there and watch in the spring and summer. And the other reason is if you're not used to a lot of people, you're going to be coming. I think we're over 500,000 now in Northwest Arkansas. So in public, you've got people everywhere here in the nucleus of Northwest Arkansas. Now, if you want to buy in a remote area, there's several little towns outside of the nucleus of Northwest Arkansas to where maybe you just want to commute for work, get away from the hustle and bustle. That's a whole nother subject. So if you're looking for something like that, we can find that as well. If you're used to an hour commute where you live now, man, you could get some really cool places. If you're used to that type of commute, you could get in the outskirts and get some land with a house. You could go as far over as Eureka Springs, beautiful scenery over there in the hills, where you can not be on top of your neighbors if you find the right parcel. And you can go west to Siloam Springs. You can go as south as to West Fork, Huntsville. There's some areas, Decatur, Elkins, Farmington, Prairie Grove, Lincoln, Summers. There's all kinds of areas outside of Northwest Arkansas that you can find some land to build on if you're just wanting to commute back and forth and not be around all this hustle and bustle every day. Just kind of want to commute in to work, get it done, and then have your little oasis, peaceful place outside of the town, if that's kind of your style. That's something you got to consider if you're coming from a smaller area. You don't want to be around people not all the time. Highly recommend getting with me or somebody else and have them find you a place outside of Northwest Arkansas. Allergies, another reason not to move here. We've got some pretty crazy allergies, and sometimes when people move here, they don't even realize they had anything until they get here. And in the summer, I get some, and then early spring, I can get some when things are blooming. I'll start sneezing, and it just kind of plugs up a little bit. But how I remedy that is I try to go every morning and to the gym. There's a sauna there, and it just drains me every morning. So I don't know if we talked about this. Sales tax. Sales tax is going to be kind of expensive in Benton and Washington County. I think you're going to be anywhere from 9 to 10% on sales tax. So if you're looking to save money, you could go over to the Missouri line. I think if you're living in Bella Vista, Bentonville, Rogers, you could do your shopping over in Missouri, and the sales tax is going to be in the 8% range, I believe, over there versus your 9 to 10, depending on what town and county you're in. So those are things, if you're coming from a state that doesn't have, like, I think, is it Florida and Texas, you don't have the state income tax. Well, you're going to have that here. And then your sales tax is going to be higher probably than in some of those areas. So things to consider. As always, reach out to me. This is living in Northwest Arkansas at Thad Skidmore Flat Fee Realty. Be glad to help you out. Just call me 479-200-0863 if you need anything. Email me thad@thadsellshomes.com. Be glad to visit with you if you're looking to do something in the next 9 to 90 days. Just give me a call and we'll get something set up. Have a good one.